You've probably been seeing this video around on Instagram, especially if your name is Ryan.
Today we're going to a Ryan meetup.
Ryan! I'm here with Ryan. Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Well, it's time to hear from the masterminds behind the movement.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and just do a quick roll call, make sure everybody is here. So I'll go ahead and start. Ryan?
Here.
Ryan?
Here.
And Ryan?
Here.
And, of course, Ryan, all here as well. It is so great to have you three on here. Of course, the Ryan Meetup has been a social account that has taken off and honestly taken the world by storm over the last several months, between your Ryan retreats, your Ryan meetups, and now soon to be a Ryan Rave. So just tell me, how did this whole entire thing get started?
Yeah, so it really wasn't anything deep. It was kind of just like a shower thought one day. I was just awoken and I was like, I need to meet more Ryans. So I went home that day and I went into Photoshop and I made these flyers. I don't know if you saw it. It's kind of like an ominous little post. And I made about 20 of them and I posted them up around my neighborhood. And that's kind of where these guys came in.
Yeah, so I was one of the first Ryans to see these flyers. I walked out of my apartment one morning and just saw this like group huddled around the telephone pole that's like directly outside my door. And it felt like some kind of ploy at first, you know, because my name is Ryan and the sign is asking, is your name Ryan, right outside my house. And I asked them, I'm like, are you guys Ryans? And they're like, no. And I was like, all right, well, beat it. You know, this is clearly my flyer here. And so I was very excited by it. I work in advertising. And so that initially I was just jealous of whoever the Ryan was that came up with this. And I really wanted to meet that person. So I scanned it, RSVP'd to the first Ryan meetup instantly. And it was really just Ryan and I talking. I was the only one in the group chat interested really in attending this. And so we had just been talking for about 2 weeks and deciding, do we still even want to do this? You know, if it's just going to be us two. And then, you know, on the day of, this other Ryan got involved.
Yeah, so on the day of the event, my friend, somebody had tweeted out a picture of the poster since they were just in like one neighborhood in Brooklyn. My friend saw the tweet, she said to me, he's like, you have to go. I saw it, scanned the QR code, saw the event was going to be the exact same day. Read a poll like my Instagram story with the picture of the flyer. It was like, should I go? And it was like overwhelmingly, yes, you have to go. It was only like 40 minutes from my apartment. I had nothing going on that night. So I was like, you know what? Like, last minute, why not? Let's check this out. So I went. I didn't even have a chance to. I think I sent like 2 or 3 messages in that group chat. Just like, is this actually happening? Like, what's going on? And then Ryan Rosie responded. So I showed up. It was just the 3 of us, and we just kind of all hit it off right away.
That's fantastic. And it's grown into just this massive thing. Obviously, the one particular video that has really taken off all over Reels and on TikTok is the one particular Ryan meetup, where, you know, you've just got what almost looks like up to 100 or more people in a bar just hanging out, wearing Ryan merchandise. They've got the Ryan name tags. You know, what was it like that first event where it really packed in and you realized, this is more than just a couple of events in a group chat. This is now almost a movement entirely.
Yeah, our first event, well, besides like our first event, our first big event was huge. I think we had about 130 people come. And we didn't really know what to expect. We never I think when we were discussing when we first met, we were like, oh, maybe our next event we could maybe get 15 or 20 people out. But it grew so significantly that we're like, oh shoot, we need to find a bigger venue. And we reached out to, we went on Google. We're like, oh, is there any Ryan venues in New York City? And we found Ryan McGuire's, and we called them, and they were like, yeah, come here. And then they even had a Ryan person on staff, and Ryan McGuire himself came to the first event. So it was pretty cool. And also, we had quite a few news outlets come that we didn't expect, like NPR and New York Times, and
they sent Ryans, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
amazing.
All Ryans,
yeah.
Right? Ryan work in pretty much any field you can imagine.
And your bouncers were named Ryan too, right? I think I saw that at the entryway, your security guards were both named Ryan.
That's us.
Yeah, that was us too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Intimidating duo here, right? You know, but yeah, that was our first big break on the scene, I think, was at Ryan McGuire's. It was actually our second meetup. And then we had another one, the Ryan Rendezvous, where another 100 Ryans or so came. And then we were like, we should take this to the West Coast, because we had so many Ryans from the West Coast begging us to come out there and host an event. And we expected it to be more chill. Actually, that one with the video that went pretty viral was only like 20 or 30 Ryans that showed up. But it was a great group of Ryans, as always. So, that helped the video really perform well, I guess.
Obviously, this has been picked up by a lot of well-known Ryans as well, in particular Ryan Seacrest, bringing it up on his show just a couple of months ago.
There are signs posted around New York City say, is your name Ryan? You want to meet other Ryan?
Yeah, we stop it.
We found he's a real deal.
You guys, this is definitely a trap. They are definitely trying to murder you. For sure.
Really?
Ryan,
What was that like when you guys first noticed that not only is this taking off on a larger scale, but there are some relevant Ryans that are picking up on this movement?
That was a pretty crazy thing that happened. I was like in bed, and my mom called me, and she's like, "You're on the news or whatever. You're on Kelly and Ryan." I was like, "What?" And then she just like held the phone up to the TV, and like you could just hear Ryan Seacrest being like, "Is your name Ryan?" And they're just like talking about it. I was like, "Whoa." But he was kind of like, I think, scared by it in a way.
They made it seem like it was like a flyer that was going to get him kidnapped or something. The co-host really was the one that I think made it kind of scarier than it needed to be.
Exactly. Yeah. I hope he trusts us now. This has all just been a big project to earn his trust.
Yeah, it's just a big game to try to get the recognition of Ryan Seacrest.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And obviously, too, not only has it grown, not only have you seen that, a lot of these celebrities are starting to pick up on it and notice it a little bit, but one of the cool things that I've seen is because it's such a coast-to-coast movement, you guys recognize the Ryans that travel the furthest to attend these meetups. What has kind of been the furthest Ryan that's traveled to some of these events, and have you seen almost an international group of Ryans kind of joining the movement as well?
I want to give a special shout out to one of our Ryans. There's a Ryan that has attended every single event in New York, and then he actually showed up as well to the Ryan retreat in Los Angeles, which we weren't expecting. We had no idea. He just walks through the door, and we all immediately recognized him because he's been at every event.
He's always the first at every event too.
He's always the first. He literally showed up to the very first big one early.
He's like camping out beforehand.
Oh yeah.
No, I was like putting up a poster on the outside of the building on like a telephone pole or something, and he's like, "Ryan," I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And like, I'm here. It's like, "Okay, you want to help out if you're here early?" And then he's just been to every event since. So he flew in from Brooklyn to go to Santa Monica. So we handed him the award the last time. I do know that at our next event, we've had people calling in from all over. I can't actually confirm this is happening, but there was a Ryan that said he's going to fly, that he's already bought a ticket to fly into LA from Alaska. There's more than a few people from Brooklyn that are also joining us. Those are probably the farthest.
There was a Ryan that said he may come from the UK.
Oh, there was also Irish Ryan, wasn't there?
There's Ryans all over.
Yeah, we've also noticed like an uptick from the Southeast Asian community lately. I'm not sure how we reached them, but I think it was just like a few days ago, we all of a sudden had a bunch of Indonesian Ryans follow us. We sent a T-shirt to one from Taiwan, so maybe they'll come out. Let's see.
There you go.
It out.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've started to notice too. Like, I think a lot of the videos are starting to get reshared on like some Indonesian Ryan accounts and different things like that. Like, as I was swiping through before this interview, I'm like, there seems to be almost an international movement of this in some way, shape, or form, which it's got to be super cool. Again, you guys kind of starting this to bring together a community of those who are named Ryan. But also, the fun part, too, is this kind of anti-Brian campaign, which, again, I can also attest to this, that growing up, I was always accidentally called Brian over and over again. Being Ryan Smetzer, it was always Brian Spencer, or, there was that double whammy of people butchering the name. But I love this kind of fun, whimsical way to play off of that, hey, like, we're a community of Ryans, but we're all rallying together on this one thing, that we are not named Brian. Which one of you was the one that thought of that idea?
I don't think I thought of it. I think it's just like a thing I've realized all Ryans have in common. Like it's not like an original thing. It's just something you're born with.
That's fair.
I was part of this Ryan Reddit group, and I would constantly see a bunch of the Ryans post like they'd go to Starbucks or something, and their cup would be like Brian. And they're like, "Ah, today's ruined."
COVID made it a lot worse, because the mask would, get in the way of speaking clearly. So they just assume Brian for some reason, as if we don't look like Bryans, do we? It's offensive.
Right. Exactly. I 100% agree. And I think it's such a fun thing. And, the merch is so fantastic where you guys have the no Bryans allowed and, all of that kind of stuff. Did the merch come early too, kind of in the process whenever you guys were putting all this together?
No, I wouldn't say it came early. It's a later development. I mean, we all have day jobs. So it's been, I guess it's been a long process to get everything moving and off the ground. And these were always things that we had thought about, but like the actual development of the merch didn't happen until a few weeks ago, at least like this main batch that we just sent out. It's really just, for one, to kind of like include, communities of Ryans that can't attend the event so they can still feel like they're a part of it. But also to reimburse us because we spent way more money than we intended on hosting these events.
The next thing that you guys are putting together is this Ryan Rave. Tell me a little bit about what kind of inspires you guys to go in this route of it being kind of this fun party atmosphere, and what can people expect at the Ryan Rave?
I mean, I think one reason for it being a rave is we're kind of just running out of R words to find the alliteration for our event names. We did rendezvous, we did roundup, and so rave seemed like an easy option, especially since in order to house what could be 400 to 500 Ryans, this would probably have to be in like a warehouse. So played well into the rave theme. We've also noticed that there are a lot of Ryan DJs, so it kind of played right into our hands there. Yeah, speaking to one right now. So yeah, that's just kind of how it fell into place. And
Also, I think we wanted to kind of spice up each event so it's not the same thing every single time. So it's not just like us meeting in a bar and just talking about our names. So yeah, we want to keep doing something different, but also keep that like something that with an R word after Ryan. Like he said, we're kind of running out of words of events we could do.
Mm-hmm.
But Rave sounded perfect.
Ryan Revival might be the next thing. Do like a full-blown, just like gospel choir of Ryans.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah. We also have rodeo in the works, actually not technically in the works, but just because it's an R word, we'll eventually do it.
Right. It's somewhere in the back of your mind there.
Exactly.
I love it. Now, I think the next thing we should do, since we've got 4 Ryans in a room here virtually, that we do a draft. The official Ryan draft of our favorite Ryans. And we'll just go kind of round robin one at a time, and we'll rattle off our favorite Ryans. Round 1, pick one.
Ryan Reynolds.
That's a fair one.
Obvious choice.
I had a good feeling Ryan Reynolds was going to go either in the first pick or somewhere in the first round. All right, Ryan L.
I'll have to go with Ryan Gosling.
Gosling it is. Just Ken. Ryan C., what do you got for me?
I'm going to go with a Ryan that's dear to our hearts. I'll go with Ryan Mitchell, who has perfect attendance at the Ryan events.
I love it. Perfect attendance at every single Ryan event so far.
Yep.
That's phenomenal. All right, well, I'm going to go with another fellow Ryan S., and I'm going to say Ryan Seacrest. I mean, gives that recognition. He still might be afraid of the Ryan meetups so far, but gonna get him there. I'm manifesting that one of these days we're gonna have a Ryan meetup that Ryan Seacrest just walks into without telling anyone, and it's just spectacular. All right, Ryan R., round number 2. What's your pick?
Baby Ryan.
Baby
And
Ryan.
I'm not sure if we mentioned this, but at our first meetup, we had like a 6 or 7 month old baby come in named Ryan, accompanied by his parents, of course. But
Phenomenal.
baby Ryan's kind of been our like mascot throughout this.
I love that. There's gonna be there. I feel like we need to have like baby Ryan merchandise now too, like Ryan onesies, any of that kind of stuff. Because I did do some research that apparently the name Ryan was in the top 20 baby names until 2010, and now it's officially dropped to number 69, which
We had
Like-
ran for that.
yeah, I mean that needs to be the Ryan revival right there. Is to just start convincing
That's
people.
gonna change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to like
Goal.
right. All right, Ryan L. Who's your round 2 pick for Ryan's?
I'm gonna go with Ryan Coogler. I like his movies.
Ooh, okay. I'm here for it. I love it. Ryan C., what do you got?
Let's see. I'll go with Cascade. Ryan DJ. Yes.
I did just learn about this.
I'm a big fan of his. And you know, there's some whispers that he's going to be attending. So we've left one spot open on the lineup for him in case he decides to follow through on that. So
I love that. I would say then, I think for round number 2, and this will be the final pick, I'm toying between 2 different athlete Ryans here. One that was an Olympian and one that got an MTV show named after him. I'm going to have to pick the MTV show one. Ryan Sheckler, I think, is going to be my pick. Another Ryan S. Honorable mentions here. We've got Ryan Lochte.
Ryan Lochte, yep. Of course, the famous hold up at the Brazilian gas station.
Yeah,
Sorry, you might want to edit that out. I don't know if
Nope.
it's good press for Ryan's.
that's perfect.
Ryan Howard.
True. Didn't even think about Ryan Howard. Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, he was definitely on my radar. I forgot we were only going 2 rounds. I had him ready for my 3rd pick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. What about Ryan? Ryan Adams was like a well-known 2000 singer, right?
Chinooks. Yeah, Ryan Adams, Ryan Cabrera, another
Ryan Beatty, Ryan Bergara.
Ryan
True.
Lewis.
Ryan Lewis, the Macklemore guy.
Oh.
Well,
There's
you know.
too many. There's too many. How can we choose?
Well, we got to give a shout out to our first ever famous Ryan from Guster, the band Guster. Not sure if you're familiar with them, but he is our first ever famous Ryan, so I probably should have picked him. He's always DMing with us and great guy.
well, what I'll do, I'll edit it out, and on your pick 1, we'll say I'll have it go from like it'll be just a hard cut where it's like Ryan Guster, it'll be perfect. And it'll be like, yeah, you totally picked him first. That was 100% it.
I'm not even sure if that's his actual name.
It's Ryan Miller.
Ryan
Right.
Miller? Oh,
But hey,
Ryan.
still
from
made it
Guster.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. That is awesome. Well, guys, obviously, this is a huge movement, and there are so many different ways that people can get involved. How can us Ryans get on board in joining this massive Ryan community?
Attend the events. That's the ultimate goal here is to break the record set by Ivans in Serbia. They got 2,325 Ivans at an event. So that's the number to beat, and we've got the power. Like we have the Ryans on our app already, more than that. So attend the events, and let's get that record together. I think is really the call to action.
Attend events, print out posters, print up in your city. But yeah, mostly just attending events and spreading the good word that we're here to break the record.
And if you're not named Ryan, we have a solution. We always bring the legal paperwork to change your name to Ryan at our events. So we can grow. We don't have to be, naming babies Ryan to grow. But
There you go. We can bring it up from number 69 without even asking people to give birth to new children. It's just change your name to Ryan. It's as easy as that.
exactly.
Amazing. Well, Ryan R., Ryan L., Ryan C., thank you for everything that you guys are doing, for fighting the good fight for all of us Ryans, and best of luck with the Ryan Rave and all of the other amazing events to come.
Thank you, Ryan.